I was thinking about how I love to light and I hate to light, because it never does what I necessarily want it to do.
This project was one with a very quick turnaround. We got a call on Monday from one of our really good friends that they had a partner who was flying into town and they wanted to capture an interview with him because he was kind of the lead partner for this new company they were opening up. And the caveat was this individual was flying in on a Wednesday and we had to get everything ready to be able to shoot by then. So Monday we got the call, finalized the details and sent over the invoice on Monday. Got everything approved and cleared. Tuesday we went and scouted a bunch of locations. We checked out a local library, an entrepreneurship spot that our friend had a connection with, and then the office where they worked at. And in the end decided that the office had 2 locations that would probably be the best we could film. And then by the end of the day we had to narrow it down from 2 of those locations to 1 of the locations.
So what do you want to do, Wesley?
So first thing is we can get set up and then we can move all the equipment out.
Yeah, right.
So we've got both cameras. Let's get those over there. Is it too high?
Man, it's tight. Let's try this.
Okay. Really, in the end, we wanted to provide something for our client that gave it a lot of depth and a lot of openness. Depth is really a great way to kind of make things feel more professional. Being able to knock things out of focus in the background, but also just make things feel big and expansive. We were able to achieve this openness, even though we had a really small room to shoot in, by booking out the conference room behind us and be able to shoot through the glass into the conference room. Thus, taking us from being able to shoot inside this, I think it was like a 7-foot or an 8-foot by 8-foot room, and then having a whole entire hallway of 5 feet and then a whole nother conference room, which is about 10 feet wide behind us. We were almost able to triple the size of the room by shooting through glass. It really helped to be able to just give that big kind of open feel that we wanted for the interview. Okay, so then light, are we thinking diffuser?
Yeah, let's do the background real quick. Let's do diffuser with 3K, but let's also shut down the light back here.
Okay.
You need to come this way a little bit? Or are we going to start losing too much shadow on the right?
Oh, you're saying just come a little bit more, rotate
Well,
around?
we're getting a little shadow from the nose. Okay. That's not super obvious.
I don't see it, yeah.
Yeah, this is like this cloudy part here is the diffusion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are we thinking?
I think it's a little, I want it to be softer.
Yeah, well, after we're set up in here, we're almost done, and then we'll move everything out.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much. While we're setting up, the secretaries who were over this kind of shared space were really concerned that we were just going to be leaving everything everywhere and just leave it a mess. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time to communicate to them beforehand that, no, this is just part of the setup process. We're going to set up, these cases will be open for a small amount of time, and we're going to close them all down, and they all pack up very nicely into this one room, and you won't even know anything's going on. And in terms of sound, we've got everything taken care of. The room is relatively sealed, and we've got blankets up to protect most of the sound, so you won't even know we're here, and no one else will know we're here. Not ideal, but we were able to work through it and just kind of help resolve and be like, oh, I completely understand. Our apologies for not communicating this beforehand. This is kind of how it'll go, and trying to guide them through the process and help them be a little more okay with what was going on. I just put it, I don't know if that's a room. Yeah.
It is, so.
Just so we kind of keep it all up against the wall. So kind of the goal with active business places is try to just make sure you keep the clutter down to where it's like open pathways. If we run cables across places, tape it down. Just try not to upset people who aren't part of the film shoot.
Early for some medicine? Okay, is it 3 hours or 4 hours? It's every 4 hours. It's been 4 hours. So I'm gonna take some.
Having a snack?
Having a little, I just like to drink sinus medicine. This stuff works really well. We're just setting up a really simple interview shot here, the big diffusion, 2 3Ks. We'll see if we need both those lights. Like, it seems like a lot of light to me for what we're trying to do, but what we'll do is we'll pull it back and we'll have both going with the diffusion, and we'll kind of pull it back to see how much light we actually need, but keep it nice and soft on the subject's face. Right now, Weston's having trouble getting the light to turn on.
No, I think they wired the whole floor with one circuit. Actually, it just seems like the light's not working. So we set up the project. For these type of interviews, we typically leave ourselves 2 hours minimum for setup. We'd like to leave ourselves 3 hours if possible. That's what we did for this one. We left 3 hours for setup. We typically like to be able to set up at the location a day beforehand to test and make sure it's all gonna work, but we just didn't have the luxury this time. So it was very limited time, got it working, looked wonderful. The owner that was flying into town had arrived, got him from the camera, had some questions prepared for him, and went right into the interview.
My feet didn't reach the ground either. I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
Can you rest on that?
Yeah.
Good. We want you to be.
They usually sit at a nice little table though.
I'm
Yeah.
not tall enough for this one.
They're just.
So it's Jamie and
Jamie, she's our second camera operator. This is Drew. He's our
Drew.
director of photography. I'm Weston.
hi Weston.
I'm the director, and then this is Nick.
Hi Nick.
He's our behind-the-scenes guy. You were Dr. Carter.
Carson.
Carson.
Yep.
Okay.
C-A-R-S-O-N.
After we wrapped, it was a day and a half of editing, and we had the whole project delivered and ready to them before the end of the week. These type of projects can be kind of fun because it definitely puts to test the different type of preparation elements that we usually have when the schedule's a little more forgiving, and kind of checking ourselves for, we know that doing these type of steps as test setups and tech scouting and all that stuff is beneficial, but kind of forcing ourselves to get it done in a much shorter time period, and more or less proving to ourselves that it is important and it's worth doing it even in that reduced time. And in the end, pulled it all together, and a whole project done in less than a week. It surpassed the expectations of the client, surpassed the expectations of the person who was the owner of the business and on camera, and has surpassed the expectations of the people who've been running the marketing for it. So all in all, it's been a win-win, and it was a fun kind of last-minute project, and all of the systems that we have in place worked wonderfully to be able to help this project come together. Glad we were able to pull it together, even though, let's wait for the sun to come back. Maybe the sun won't come back. It's gone, man. The sun is gone.